Hello everyone and welcome to Yarn and Yore, where I tell you role-playing adventures and we just have a fun time with it. You can have me in the background and do your chores and stuff like that and listen to a Yarn and Yore. Well, around my birthday I used to hold a big campaign where like a big game that I would play with my friends, invite everyone over and introduce them to D&D. Which is a little annoying to like fill out character sheets with people that did it for the first time because it like takes an hour each time. But okay, I did that and we were ready to sit down and play. And this does kind of pick up from Dark Shantae and Stella's adventure, but I kind of had I wanted to change the realm. I wanted to kind of go to a different plane than just old-fashioned Forgotten Realms. Let's do my own book series realm. Not Derpy the Dinosaur, but a different world entirely. And around the time that I decided to do this, HeroScape was still going on. If you know me from the old days, you know I was really into HeroScape. And in HeroScape, they did a crossover with D&D. It's a really bad sign that the company was going down, but they did a crossover. But in HeroScape lore, they had these wells. In the wells, you could actually pull out warriors from other dimensions. So I was like, okay, I'll throw that in here, and that's why Dark Shantae and Stella are here. They went into a dungeon, and they found one of these wells, fell in it, and now they're in a Arctic tundra, which is par for the course. I did a lot of snow stuff because I had a lot of ice trees and snow trees anyway. We did the Ice King. Let me show you. The Ice King adventure, and even the other one was a northern village that we had where they dealt with the white dragon. But I had a lot of these. Can you believe $1 Dollar Tree around Christmas? If you're lucky, you'll find these. Pick up $20 worth and you have 40 trees. Good for tactical board games and line of sight, because we always did like the HeroScape line of sight. If you can't see them, you don't hit them. Or if they're somewhat obscured, you can do half, but yeah. So we did have Stella and Dark Shantae, but now they're in this unusual tundra place. And I said, due to it being a tundra place, they have a lot of like mercenary groups, but they're not out to kill people. They're out to like deliver supplies and deliver letters and deliver things between these big stone abbeys where the people normally live in this tundra. It's called the Northern Ice Cap. And it's this completely isolated snowy island in this particular world where most of them live in abbeys and they live a quiet religious sub-religious kind of lifestyle. And if they need, like, we need to escort this person for a wedding because we're going to marry them off to another abbey, we'll escort them. And that was actually supposed to be the adventures, like you're going to an abbey to pick someone up to take them to another abbey. But during, because it's cold, there's a lot of dangers. There's a gang going around called the Brigand, and the Brigand raid abbeys and attack people, so you need really strong soldiers to go and fight. That's what Stella and Dark Shantae eventually did, and so did Trent. Trent went along with them. No, Trent wasn't. Where's my guy? There it is. Trent, I don't think, was with him, which then makes me wonder where was the... Because I could have sworn we had 6 players. I guess we had 5. Trent was not there with him. He stayed wherever he was. But a person that was joined them were Clyde Greenhill, which was a Drow Ranger. So I guess they traded a Ranger for another Ranger. And he was played by a person named Jeremiah. And he was the guy that helped us do our first D&D campaign. He was the one that I said did the best one, where we had to save a princess Mario Thousand Year Door style. We didn't know she was possessed. It was terrible. And then another person played a human wizard, female, but she based it off of Platinum from Blaze Blue. He had problems, but she was Platinum out in the snowy tundra. And then I'm like, okay, I'm tired of filling out character sheets for people. I asked them weeks in advance, what kind of character would you want? We'll help you fill it out, etc., etc. So I went online and found pre-made character sheets for D&D encounters. And I had like 3. And then one guy went and got this Avara, which is a human paladin. Whatever, yeah. Person's unaligned, but it's a human. How do you go unaligned in D&D without being a human paladin? But yeah, that's what he looked like. Maybe I'll put up a picture of what Platinum looks like. Like, she's a little girl that has like 3 personalities in her. Just look up Blaze Blue and you'll find out. So they're traveling. They become not a guild, but they become a mercenary group to deliver. Supposed to go to the Green Abbey. They're supposed to pick up a girl that is about to get married off to a particular person that is in the Gray Abbey. They're all color-coded, and some of them mean where they align with the religious order, how orthodox they are, or how not, or like how little they care about you. Because the further away from a city called the Citadel means the less they care. I mean, there's like one that was called the Red Abbey that got literally blew up by a volcano. That there's ruins there. And then there was a Silver Abbey that got taken over by the Brigand. In it's like this place called the Silver Hand, which looks like barren straits, or like fjords, if you know what that means, like rocky cliff sides that are jagged, that look like a hand. So they're going through the tundra and it's cold, and I say, man, you've been traveling for like 3 days and you haven't had a good night's sleep. How wonderful would it be to have a warm fire and food? I'm trying to get their mindset. This is what's happened to you. And I'm like, and there off in the distance you see smoke coming out of somewhere, and like that means there's a fire, and you race to it, and you see a lone house that clearly has a fire in it, a lone house out in the wilderness. What do you do? I asked them this, and they're still murder hobos. Clyde Green Gable, being the rogue, says, let's burn it down. I'm like, no, because like I like the micro adventure. I have this like 2 pieces of paper adventure. It's like, no, please don't, please don't. It's the whole adventure. I mean, need warmth. It's cold. It's like, well then, I'll settle for destroying this tree. And he literally takes turns hacking with. Did he have an axe? Let's see if he even had an axe in his. I think he hacked with his sword. Daggers, shurikens. He did not have an axe. He had a short sword and like cut down a tree. And they knocked it over, and I'm like, okay, good. And it crashed into the house. It's like, well, you just crashed into the attic of the house. Thank you, guys. And it fell, and in the direction it fell, it also hit Stella. And Stella falls on the ground flat, unconscious. And because he's a rogue, he goes and he's like, I'm going to loot her body. It's like, she's unconscious. So Thomas, the player of Stella, is rolling to regain consciousness as Clyde is like reaching into her pants pockets. It was terrible. So as Stella and Clyde are doing their adventure, people split up to explore this, and they're in earshot of each other, so that's perfectly fine, right? Right. While they do that, well, Platinum and Avalar, let's call it Avalar, the paladin. So the paladin and the wizard go into the house, and they open the front door, and it's like, well, there's a fireplace, and there's comfy chairs, and there's a table, and on the table there is a game of Caverns and Kobolds to play. That's my joke on Dungeons and Dragons. And they sit down and they begin to play Caverns and Kobolds. Now, I should have gave them some sort of bonus just for messing with it, like a small +1 to perception, or like +1 to some sort of vitality for messing with it, but I didn't. So they go ahead and play around with things, but Dark Shantae and his, now he has only his keep forgetting this term. Direwolf. So he's riding on his direwolf, and they leave. It's like, I'm not going to deal with the house. I'm going to deal with the stuff going on behind the house, because there's like a backyard area where there's a couple of trees and a big rock, and he starts exploring that. So let's cut back to Stella and Greenhill. Eventually Stella wakes up and like slaps him for like reaching into her pants pockets, because how inappropriate is that? She's a dragonborn, but like she has self-respect. Like, get off me, you drow. So they eventually decide to go into, I believe, the back door. They go around, they go in the back door, and they see there's an appropriate kitchen and stuff like that. And I'm revealing the map as they explore, so I'm hiding particular corners to keep the adventure going. So eventually the paladin and the wizard, they get tired of that, and they go exploring elsewhere, and they find a bedroom, and in the bedroom, somewhat inappropriate. One of them's like, well, I try to kiss him because it's this little girl wizard, and that's how the guy was. But he's a paladin. Like, but I'm chaste. Like, he shoves the little girl. And she's like, no. I don't know why they're role-playing this, but eventually it results in there's a hole in the ceiling, actually, and they were going to discuss how to get in there before, like, Platinum starts being like your boyfriend material to the paladin. He's like, but I'm a chaste paladin. What do you... Picks her up, throws her through the hole. She goes through the hole and gets stuck. And she drops her magic wand, which is like her focus item. So she can't do magic. And then bats come out of the attic once she gets out of the hole, knocks her through the roof. She falls outside. Out the back door. Lost her wand. Everything. Dark Shantae's out there. He's climbed up a rock face. And it's like, oh, there's a treasure chest. I started wanting to put more loot. I did not want Dark Shantae to have it because he's overpowered. So he gets a new shield that's luminous. Helps him light up things. And then Platinum's fell outside. Face down in the snow. Lost her magic item. And both Stella and Clyde Greenhill are looking out the back window. So they see all this, like, what on earth just happened? And out comes the paladin and is like, I had to defend myself. And they look out there and they see one lone wolf. It's normal, it's tundra, wolves, but a lone wolf? And it looks sickly, and as it comes near, the people on the inside notice, oh crud, that's a zombie wolf. Why is it a zombie wolf? They go outside. Platinum's freaking out because she has no way to really attack without her wand for targeting magic. So they have to come in and defend her. So there's a zombie wolf and two other real wolves. So like the pack leader became zombified and the other wolves continue to follow it. They go and they fight off the wolves, and it takes a while because I didn't lower the HP. I'm like, you got a party of 5 or 6. Come on, guys. Actually, while they're fighting, I believe Dark Shantae was like, well, I'm going to explore some more. And he found like a tree house up in the trees, and I forget what loot he got for the tree house. It's like, okay, guys, he's normally I want to fight and kill things, but it's like, nah, I'd rather have some loot. I guess all he really got was that luminous shield. Maybe he got a rope that he used later. They go, they fight all these adventures, all the wolves, and eventually Platinum gets the wand and goes magic missile, which literally in Blaze Blue there is like a magic missile attack she does. So he's naming out all the Blaze Blue attacks, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, sir, but fine. So the Ranger's shooting arrows, and Stella and the Paladin are wailing on them with swords and stuff. And I believe a lot of people got to half health, so the Paladin had to lay on hands afterwards. And I think all this eventually took like an hour and a half. And yet again, I had about 3 friends. I ain't used to a D&D campaign being so long, so they're like, well, it's like, I gotta I gotta go home. I'm like, well, you stay for like 3 hours if we're playing Halo. What's with this? You do one fight and like we're gonna go home. It's like, okay. That leaves us with just Stella and Dark Shantae yet again, because they're my diehards. My diehard adventurers. And even them are like, okay, we're a little tired. Our adventurers rest up in the house and plan on doing stuff the next day. And literally the next day we pick up the campaign. And they wake up to hear chanting coming from the basement. It's like, oh man, that can't be good. It's like, but there's a basement? They look through the house and like there's no basement. Well, in one corner of the house that they have not explored yet, there's a cellar. You go down to the cellar and it's a cold, carved into the dirt floor platform, and they see ice pillars coming up. And they see like a necromancer. Yeah, this is subplot, the necromancer. I want to be a necromancer. I want to be a necromancer. Kind of subplot. And they see in the ice, this necromancer is trying to bring back to life. He wasn't a necromancer. He was what I was called a cryomancer. Like there was a bunch of lore about all the magic schools had an elemental thing, but they all fought the necromancers at one point. They kicked them out of the region. And necromancy is absolutely forbidden even by magic users. But this guy's using ice magic to inanimate dead bodies. He's trying to bring back necromancy, and he has like this giant troll coming up in the ice. He's trying to bring back to life through ice magic is what it was pretty much the idea. And they eventually go in there and they're trying to stop him, and there's like a sigil in the middle, this magic circle that's beginning to glow. They start beating and punching him up and using their hammer. At one point in this fight, the guard drake's already been dead, but the direwolf dies. So I killed both of your pets, Shantae. I killed them both. But anyway, they eventually killed the cryomancer, killed him off, but his spell's not broken for some reason. And this thing's trying to come up, and Stella's like, I have one last option. I can try to use that horn that Freed left, because Freed died, and he used the horn. He blows the horn. He rolls like an 18. And I was like, lightning strikes, and then everything goes to white, and it's only you. The room goes completely white, and you're left, Stella. And Stella's looking around, and behind her, there's Freed standing there, and he just like gives her a thumbs up. It's like, good job. That's being a bard. And like, good job. You saved the day. And the whole idea is the necromancy magic and the magic of the horn has crossed the planes of living and dead, and they're beginning to be able to talk to each other. Good job. She starts crying and is like, I miss you, buddy. We used to sing that one time, but I miss you. And then it cuts over to Dark Shantae. Well, he's also in a white room alone, and he sees like a planar angel, and he sees on both sides of the angel his pets, and he says, you may choose. Like, but I choose both. Shantae was like, I choose both. You must choose one, or none at all. It's like, well, choose the guard drake. He did more damage. I shouldn't have gave him back it, but I was like, well, if he gets to see the dead, maybe one comes back from the dead. Now, I didn't want, because Freed was me. I was a player character. I didn't want to bring me back, so I brought back their pet. And Stella's like, oh man, this magic horn. After everything, the zombie goes into a puddle of like mush and remains and slush. Just, the spell got broken by the magic horn. And that was their adventure that they had out in the icy tundra. They did not pick up that adventure at all. It became a one-shot, but it continued them. And Stella became level 4, and Dark Shantae became level 4. It was a happy ending for those who continued playing. This was Relic Jones, signing out, and good gaming.